Welcome to Upturned Table, and today we have something very special sent to us by the Fellowship of the Thing. So thank you, Griff. This is something from last year's ARNECON that happened in October, and unfortunately I was stateside but unable to attend. There was too much family obligations, so it's a real heartbreaker, but Griff was kind enough to send this along, and let's take a look at what we've got. So this is, and very nicely shipped too. This is the ARNECON Special Edition of Into the Wild Blue Yonder, A Journey Through Blackmoor's Dark Realm by Rob Kuntz. So this was written and then demoed for ARNECON of 2024. So this is an adventure for levels 10 to 12, run as part of your campaign or as a one-shot, and includes pre-generated characters. And there's the Fellowship of the Thing's logo, and Three Lime Studio produced this. And of course, the ARNECON Special Edition. Nice. So let's see what it says on the back here. Get some of this glare. Herein contained a fresh new adventure for Blackmoor fans. In order to stop a great war from erupting in the realms over the ascendancy to the throne, you and your band of hardy adventurers must seek out the primordial memories of Blackmoor's earliest explorers. To do so, you will descend into the realm of darkness, a land normally forbidden to the living, to retrieve lost knowledge held by infamous heroes of the past. An RPG adventure like no other ever created. This is an homage to the celebration of Dave Arneson's creation, Blackmoor, an imaginary world that led to the creation of a game we love and still enjoy to this day, as well as Arneson's legacy as the creator of fantasy RPGs. So, written by Rob Kuntz, co-author of Greyhawk, as a gift to his good friend Dave Arneson. A game adventure of this nature has never occurred until now. The adventure can be used as in the ongoing campaign or played as a single-session scenario using the pre-generated characters in this book. So designed to use advanced first edition rules, this material can easily be adapted to most fantasy RPGs, including advanced second edition, the original game, the BECME, and many old-school Renaissance OSR games. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, it's too bad. I'm sure that's insane to produce it that way anymore, but the cover doesn't pull off and there's no non-photo blue map inside. Those were the days, although non-photo blue doesn't work well anymore. It's a great illustration on the front. All right, Into the Wild Blue Yonder, A Journey Through Blackmoor's Dark Realm. So by Rob Kuntz, an official Blackmoor setting. So designed by Robert J. Kuntz, front art and interior illustrations and cartography by Christian Staggs, editing by Sarah Veglen, sorry. And the special thanks to Griff Morgan, Chris Graves, D.H. Boggs, Natalie Hetchett-Kuntz, and David Gambara. So yeah, published by Fellowship of the Thing, and I think this is only their third publication. They've done some great books. We'll take a look at what they produced for Tonisborg and some other work at the end of this, and I'll put a link. So this is available on the Fellowship of the Thing's website. I'll put a link to that as well. So let's take a look, and then of course, yeah, Blackmoor's trademarked by the estate of Dave Arneson. Oh, and this is a first edition, first printing, so December 2024. Great, and I've had this since January, so I apologize for taking so long to bring it to the channel. Yeah, this is really great. So, if enough of us like your story, we'll accept your new boundary as the true one and plant a few stories of our own in the newfound land. Orson Scott Card. So this is a special ARNECON 2 preface, and this is by Rob. So I'm tickled beyond words to honor not only the creator of the modern role-playing game form, but the co-father of the first commercially played role-playing game, David L. Arneson. And that includes all of the Blackmoor bunch that were there at the dawn of its birth. Your names appear amongst those others below who joined in Dave's campaign campaign play over the years. You were the first and remain the honored best. That's great. And then there's a introduction. So to using the adventure, Into the Wild Blue Yonder is a very grounded and straightforward quest related to a storyline created by Dave Arneson in his original campaign, and as fictionally extended by this author. This should not stop capable dungeon masters from utilizing what is present here in their own campaign settings. In other cases, this adventure is suitable for a one-off type, played out over several sessions. It contains a lot of new source material that can be integrated into any campaign. So the adventure is designed for 8 player characters of 8 to 12, 10th through 12th. DMs can substitute their own PCs for the 8 pre-generated PCs included herein, while taking note of the balance in spells and items the latter possess. The action takes place in the Dark Realm, Land of the Dead, beneath the Goblin Hills in the Egg of Kut. It is a quest-oriented and centers upon the party retrieving the knowledge that will eliminate a brewing revolt to the Duchy of Bulgrin, which could draw adjacent duchies into a War of the Roses scale conflict. So Into the Wild Blue Yonder can either be played in a land comparable to Earth, or it can be easily adapted to any campaign. It is connected in no small way to the lands comprising Dave Arneson's Blackmoor and environs. A portion of the information contained herein has been derived from Dave's Blackmoor campaign for the express purpose of continuing a legendary storyline he composed concerning Marfelt the Barbarian. Just as important as we need to recognize Pete Gaylord's Wizard of the Wood character, and out of respect for the first wizard of RPGs, I was eager to include him in the story's plot. Oh, this is great. This is like a history lesson. And I think just the theming of going into the underworld and retrieving, forgotten knowledge is also very, very telling of current, the attitude towards kind of currently what's happening in tabletop gaming. This is really great. So in this adventure, you'll discover venerable histories, which I have adapted as part of a legendary saga of Blackmoor, the first fantasy RPG campaign. So for DM background, the PCs have gathered in various ways, arranged by those duchies and others in high places that are working to defeat a revolution in the Duchy of Bulgrin, the capital city of Ranshold. All allied parties meet in the starport of Landmare Jennings' estate. So there the party is introduced through the plot by Jennings. And so here's his quote. I won't go through everything. I just want to kind of show you what's in the book and, give you the whole setup. But here's the beginning of the adventure and the first kind of, these are great spot illustrations. So party information. So you get some extra items, quest-oriented information. And there's DM notes here. As well as Q&As to help Wizard of the Wood Q&A answer list. Oh, that's what that is. That's great. So let's see some of this. So there's a blue gem, the scroll tube from the Rootman's Dark Realm map, the Dead's Root, a scroll tube with the Royal Writ of Pardon, and the Wizards of the Wood questions. And then assist-oriented objects, a bag of holding, horn of plenty, a jug of endless water, scroll of 8 heal spells, scroll of 2 resurrection spells, scroll of 2 restoration spells, and then a specially blessed scroll of trigger mass teleportation with caveat. Nice. And here's giving this start on the map. Oh, look at that. That's great. That's a different pose of the eye creature, the one-eyed creature on the front. The Beast of Kut. The Path of Kut. And then here's the Dark Realm map keys. And some random encounters, different encounter types. Haunted and hunted, those of the dark. The Waitwood, the Mina. Huge bat, morose mounds. Oh, there's a lot of great illustration. Kind of inspiring. I like when they, give you a little bit of the scale of a monster if it's something you're not familiar with, the party fighting it, or just how certain things are set up. Kind of seeing it from the player's eye view. So the Root Man, that must be the Root Man. He looks quite formidable. And the River of the Dead Hold. This is nice. The paper's nice and white, so everything is very clear to read. Nice. A two-headed giant. Wizard of the Wood. Great. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot to say. Oh, there he is. There's an illustration of him as well. The Domain of Dolores Dead. Bar Hell. Engaging Dolores Dead. Gates with guards. All of the buildings, the huts and messengers. Yeah, I'll stop dropping it if I lay it down. Graveyard. Shallow Gulch. Stone house, stone buildings. More stone buildings. A long stone house, a forge. A large circular stone, which is Bar Hell. And defeating Marfelt and gaining the will. Strong box, a Sword of Rage, some good magic items. A Rubble Site, so the starport and wrapping up the adventure, and then an afterword. Nice, so credits to contributors and players. Oh yeah, this is all of the players and their characters' names. Oh, that's great. So here's let's just go through, this is really fun. Let's go through the dedication. So what follows is a dedication and recognition list of players and their player characters in parentheses who participated in the Blackmoor campaign. Bold entries indicate first-year participants. Dan Boggs, who compiled this list, with some slight help from me, and at my request, tried to be as thorough as possible, considering the many years that Dave Artison's campaign existed and was played. I have no doubt that we may have unintentionally missed a few names, and for that I apologize. The histories of these fine players are spread far and wide, but perhaps now a clear picture will unfold about just how many dedicated players and designers Dave drew to his imaginative leap into the Wild Blue Yonder. So Bill Heaton played Will of Heath, Dale Nelson, Lord Nelson, Daniel Nicholson, the Merchant Gnome Fighter, Dave Arneson, Raoul the Wise, and Captain Harcher. Dave Belfry was a dwarf. Dan Fant was Baron Fant. Dave McGarry was McDuck. H.W. Dumbo, Hey You, Diamonds Balfour, the Scholaras, and Lord Hercubaner. I don't know if he died a lot or just wanted to play a lot of different characters. David Wesley, Fnord, Otto, the Barbarian, Meriden Veslo, the Half-Elf, Dwayne Jenkins, Baron Jenkins, Ed Rinke, the Swampland Lord, Gail Gaylord, no character name, Greg Svensson, of course, the Great Svenny, Jim Abler the Wizard, John Snadar, Barcero, Inspector General Snadar, and then John Sokup, dwarf, and then his name with a T, Sokup, the Wizard, Kurt Cray, Lord Cray, Marshall Hogford, Marfelt the Barbarian, Mike Carr, Bishop Carr, Mai Carr the Wizard, Pete Gaylord, Wizard of the Woods, Rick Mel Johnson, Mello the Hobbit, Richard Snyder, Brother Richard the Flying Monk, Robert Mayer, Robert the Bald, and Ross Maker the Dwarf, and Scott Belfry, Scott de Belfry. And also Bill Hoyt was Lord Whitehead, Lord Hoyt of Keston, Chuck Monson Duro, Chuck Sokop Balrog, Gary Gygax, Unnamed Wizard, Mordenkainen, also Mordenkainen, Frederick Paul Funk III, Funk One, King of Blackhand Orcs, Greg Scott, Egg of Coot, Harry Holman, Dwarf, Jim Barber, Elf, Jim Lafferini, I apologize to anybody whose name I'm slaughtering. Jim Lafferre, Wizard, Kenneth Shepro, Peshwa of Pune, The Nomad, M.A.R. Barker, no character given, Martin Nutzel, The Wandering Elf, Mike Meyer, Tardin, son of Tillif, and Badrax, Monk, Viking Jarl, Phil Grant, Elf Prince, sorry Phil, Elf Prince, Randy Hoffa, the Ran of Afu, Rob Kuntz, Unnamed Fighter, Lord Rabelar, Stephen Roquefort, Saint Stephen, Steve Dobenspeck, no character given, Tim Kirkpatrick, Timothy Curlytop, Walter Uberstar, Kazakum, Terry Kuntz, Unnamed Fighter, Ernie Gygax, Unnamed Fighter, Mike Mornad, no character named, and Deborah Nafziger, no character named. But that's fun. You recognize a lot of people from that list. That's really great. And I like how back in those days you did a play on your own name, or maybe some historical figure or something, but you played around mostly with something that was like personal to you, and was just the fantasy version of yourself. So there was a much different connection to how people were thinking at that time, and maybe not as much established fantasy pop culture. So unless you were pulling from Tolkien or some other literary source, you didn't have the late night TV and things to inspire you the same way. All right, so the new monster appendix. Here's the stats for Morfelt the Barbarian, imprisoned, and then his history and his illustration. And then Dolorous Dead, special unliving monster. The Beast of Kut, who I believe we're looking at there. And Those of the Dark, tormenting spirits. Oh, sorry, here's the illustration. The Haunted. And then the Shades of Web. Undead Apparitions. And here's the pre-generated PCs. So you've got a human cleric, human fighter, human ranger, human mage, human cleric, human mage, human thief, and human fighter. So they said, yeah, if you're going to use your own characters, take a look at their spells, kind of how they're equipped to know what would be a capable, what would be a good survivable character, or at least a capable character through this adventure. And here's each character's equipment. Nice. An optional scenario. Femic the Infiltrator. Ooh, you can play as an infiltrating character. And here's the open game license and our map of the domain of the Dolorous Dead. That's great. It's the key and all of our locations. And here we go. Here's more of an overview world map. Some margin notes for the Whitewood, the River of the Dead, the Moros Mound. That's great. Really nice detail. And it reproduced really well. I don't know what the original media was, but it looks nice in the book. It's not too smudgy. I remember the days of trying to get any sort of pencil drawing or anything reproduced without it looking like a smudgy mess was difficult. And here is a list of questions. Nice. What was the name of your first dragon? What was the name of your second dragon? What force did you command during the Great Invasion by the Egg of Kut? What directions was your woods located from Blackmoor? Who was the flying monk? Nice. So maybe everything you can answer after playing the adventure. So that is Into the Wild Blue Yonder. So great. So I hope I didn't spoil too much. I didn't, want to read through too much of the text. I wanted to show you the illustrations and everything. So it looks like we're about, I wonder if they numbered the pages, but yeah, it feels, we're about like 45 45 pages of soft cover. It's got kind of a square bound spine, no printing on the spine, but very much the look and feel of an old, very glossy though, of an old school module, just without the staple. Of course, there's no staples to rust, and no pull-out map. The maps are at the end. That would have been, I'm sure that's got to be very costly, but that would be fun to do that. It might be hard to convince, current printing houses to bind something, only stapling it and put it inside a folder and maybe even 3-ring punches on the side. But nice. Yeah, so this is great. So this was a special, so this was demoed at the last ARNECON in 2024. And I hope there's some way that I can get back to the States for ARNECON this October. But that would be a dream. But I wanted you to take a look at this. And also, let's have a look at the other publications that the Fellowship of the Thing. All right, so the other 2 publications that are available on the website are the Blackmoor Foundation's book, which we did a flip through. Of course, Griff was kind enough to send an uncorrected advanced proof, and we went through this on the channel. So a lot of reproductions of original Blackmoor archival pieces. This is a really wonderful book. This is available, and I'll put a link to the flip through of that so you can see inside that, and also the beautiful Lost Dungeons of Tonesborg. So this is from their Kickstarter that they did. So they did an original first run of the book, and then they did a crowdfunding, and so this also we went through on the channel. So I'll put a link to this as well. But these are the 3 publications currently available from Fellowship of the Thing, and as well as, if you haven't seen it, the Secrets of Blackmoor documentary that they did, which is absolutely amazing, like firsthand accounts, interviews with a lot of the original Blackmoor group. So it's really worth seeing. So I believe both on Amazon Prime and Vimeo. I'll put links to the VOD options for that. So Secrets of Blackmoor is a real treat if you like old school and the origins of tabletop roleplay. So thank you for joining me. This has been a quick flip through of an exclusive ARNECON adventure that was demoed last year, written by Rob Kuntz, and the whole idea of having to go into the past and learn from the original adventurers, original people that were there around the table, I think says a lot. And I think Rob might be trying to guide and trying to impart wisdom on this current generation as they blunder through what they would like tabletop roleplay to be. But thank you so much for joining me, and we'll put links to everything that you've seen here on the site and under the description. And thank you so much. Upturntable.com is the website for everything, and you can see us every week on the weekly. Chris and I do kind of a wrap-up of tabletop topics. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/upturntable. Let us know what you'd like to see more of on the channel and support the things that we're currently doing. We're doing an actual play series that happens every Friday night, West Coast time, I guess, North American time. And we will be back again soon. Thanks for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe if you're interested in more, and we'll see you again. Goodbye.